Hey, so yesterday I had I call it my post-holiday dinner party. I had some people over because friends were kind of busy during the holidays, so I waited until it was all over and then, yeah, invited them all over when they had time. And it was a good time. I also rearranged the place, so now it's kind of a little bit of a different feel, so I'm adjusting to it a little bit. Kind of like the new setup. Um, Looks a little different. But yeah, I like the change, and I think that the dinner is kind of a good thing to start. I'm hoping to do more of it, but obviously things don't always go according to plan sometimes too. Everyone just sort of like huddled around the table because that's where all the food was. But I want to spread them out a little bit. I need to think about that and see how we can arrange our space so that people interact a little differently. That's something that's always been interesting to think about. Um, but yeah, I'm in my Sunday mode today. I was like a little bit tired after the dinner. I was feeling a little bit wired and ended up staying up and eating more of the leftover food. And now, yeah, kind of slept late, so I'm groggy today. So I'm more going to talk about resting and giving yourself a break, especially because it's Sunday. It's supposed to be, the day of rest. Um, So, yeah, we don't really give ourselves permission to rest sometimes. I definitely felt that when I worked a lot and I started feeling burnt out and I kind of like put a little bit too much into work sometimes. But I started realizing that it is important to like check in with yourself every so often. I think there's competing interests or methods or something of dealing with the grind, that constant running on the hamster wheel. And I don't know which way, I guess I do know. I kind of agree with that. You're supposed to like rest more now and check in with yourself. But there's these other people who I've met, friends and other, yeah, not just other colleagues and things that I've met, where they feel like they should just run harder. Maybe they're built a little bit differently, but yeah, they'll go on like daily runs and they'll go to the gym and they'll fill up all their calendars to make sure everything's like constantly running at a certain speed. Um, but when I notice that, I see it as like the opposite end of the same behavior. Um, that's still rooted in this kind of anxiety. It's this feeling where if you don't keep going, you will somehow like not be able to keep up anymore, which is a strange way of thinking about it. If it's kind of like a train or a car, it's like you kind of have to, like that movie Speed, good old Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, where it's like you have to keep your speed up at above a certain, above 50 or 60 or whatever was in that movie, or else you'll just like blow up or something like that. I don't like subscribing to that. I'm also not a super active person, so I tend to like downtime. I'm more of like a homebody. I won't push myself too hard. But I do notice that even when I tend to take time to relax or whatever, or to, wind down, I'm still doing something. At least before I was. I'm still like watching something or on my phone and still like jamming things into my brain, even though I did that all day on the computer already. I'm back on the computer again. Um, so nowadays, I'm much more likely to be like, wait, I actually need to switch my brain off. It's okay to give yourself that space. Um, and when I do, I feel a lot better. It's like your body's like it's pumping out hormones. It's working. It's working harder than it needs to be. So when you go into your sort of rest and digest mode, um, your body switches into different gears, and it's like, okay, it's time to repair things, and it's time to switch off certain hormones that are pushing you and making you feel stressed and tense. Then it allows you to like truly relax and feel safe and feel secure just for a moment, before you have to go to the next day and push forward, or the next week or whatever. But I think it's important to give ourselves that, even for the people who run or exercise or gym rats. It's ironic in a sense because people who exercise regularly know you need recovery time physically, but your mind is part of your physical body. It all works together. So when you're doing too much, putting too much pressure on yourself, it is okay to give yourself like a real, actual breather, to let yourself recover. Give yourself recovery days. It's important, or at least recovery hours within the day, if you have that. Otherwise, yeah, I think over time, your body's just wearing itself down and it never gets that chance to actually repair itself and to heal whatever you've pushed through. It kind of builds kind of like a debt, where you're constantly building a deficit that you have to recover later on. So, yeah, that's my video for today. And yeah, I was hesitating making this, but because I don't need to make a video every day. That's one of the pressures I've been putting on myself. But as long as I keep it chill, not put too much effort into it, I think it's all good. So hopefully you guys got some rest over the weekend, or whoever's watching. And yeah, push on to the next week, day, whenever you need to. But make sure you give yourself some well deserved rest and recovery time.